In the future, implanting chips in your brain turns you into a badass. Before the story starts, Alexa's distant cousin welcomes us into the movie. A man is working on his vehicle and you know he's a real grease monkey as he sucks his dirty, bleeding finger. He finishes repairs and...
I love you.
Just alpha male things. This absolute Chad of a man is Gray Trace, or as I know him, knockoff Tom Hardy. As he steps outside, this futuristic car pulls up. Inside the car is his girl, doing business girl things.
Hi, Handley. Oh my god.
Gray teases her for talking to the car, but to be fair, he did just profess his love for his.
At least mine can talk back.
Welcome home, Pasha.
Damn, I need me one of those. It even buys the groceries.
Is that right?
I see she's got the new Apple iTable as well. Asha checks the latest trends while Gray indulges in a refreshing beer after a long day's work.
Is staying home all day playing with cars a living grade?
Ouch. It's okay. Gray is getting used to Asha wearing the pants in their marriage. But maybe there's time to take it off. No, I'm hungry. Want to print a pizza? Wow, what a time to be alive. Though, Gray would rather have a homemade pineapple pizza instead. Kind of cringe. Switching subjects, Gray asks if Asha wants to take a ride with him for his latest delivery. Apparently, the customer has a must-see home. On the way there, we bask in the stunning views of the futuristic city. It's a clear road to their destination, but what's this? He lives behind the rocks? Nah, it's underground and Asha's loving the vibe. It's a futuristic movie, so we need an eccentric tech billionaire. Here he is with his,
It's my cloud.
Right, sure. The man turns around and Asha is shook.
You're Aaron Keene.
The owner of Vessel Computers. As Asha gushes over her husband's unexpected client, she proudly mentions her own company, Cobalt. They specialize in robotic limbs and are slowly catching up to Vessel.
No, you're not.
Well, goddamn. Though, the man is just stating facts. He directs them over to his latest invention, STEM.
That is the most incredible little roach.
A roach that can do anything apparently. Drive anything, talk to anything, calculate anything.
It's a new, better brain.
Oh great, I've been needing an upgrade. Huh, that's the name of the movie. Aaron stresses that STEM can benefit society, but Gray is skeptical. Humans can do some things better. It may be the future, but when I look at it, I see 10 guys in an unemployment line. Gray is not a fan at all of this newfangled technology stuff. During their ride home, Asha reprimands Gray for arguing with his most likely last customer. Hey, don't do that. Gray is still stuck in the past, unable to adapt to all these technological advances. He worries what will happen when things like STEM start taking over the world.
Sit back and enjoy the ride.
If you know what I mean. Oh, this I can get down with. While they're having fun, the car chimes in.
Leaving 601 freeway.
Huh. Gray notices the detour and notes that it's his old neighborhood, New Crown, which is the opposite way to their home. Sus. They both command the car to stop to no avail. Panic sets in as they try the emergency brake.
Turning left.
That's not working. Asha tries some quick hacking, but they're out of time. Despite the advances in technology, slums still exist. Typical. The car contacts emergency services while another car drives up behind them. 4 men mask up, exit the vehicle, and take the couple out. A police drone hovers over and records the encounter. Held at gunpoint, Gray surrenders everything he has. Wait, not her, man. Gray's knocked down while the creep provokes Asha before. Gray jumps to help but gets pinned down.
Till death do us part.
He's left immobilized and can only watch as the love of his life dies due to death. A while later, the police arrive late. Some things just don't change. Gray gets released from the hospital after 3 months. His home is fitted with robotic arms and other gadgets to help him throughout his life as a quadriplegic. His mother, Pamela, has access to them as well. By the looks of it, Gray shouldn't be left alone. With his spine crushed and his heart shattered, I'm not sure how much longer he can last. One day, it all sets in and he finally breaks. We cut to a police station where Detective Cortez meets with Gray and his mom. Naturally, he demands answers. Unfortunately, they've yet to identify the suspects. The detective only has leads, but Gray finds it unacceptable how with all these drones flying around scanning everyone and everything, there's still nothing to show for it. She offers her sympathies, but this only aggravates Gray. She has her list of people and offers to work together. How can I work with you?
I can't even stand.
That is a good point. The day ends and Gray is back home. At least now he's willingly using the robotic arms for his medicine.
Problem. Again.
Except I don't think you're supposed to do all that. Fortunately, a safety mechanism prevents a fatal dose. Gray passes out as an ambulance is called. Later, he's back in the hospital and an unexpected visitor arrives. His former customer, Aaron Musk. It must be frustrating given how much you liked using your hands. Wait a minute. Is that today's sponsor, Raycon? Just kidding. We ain't got that drip yet. Anyway, this genius tech-savvy man may be emotionally and socially challenged, but he's here to help. Sort of. He He offers a solution to Gray's condition. The line connecting your brain to your limbs has been cut.
STEM would bridge that gap.
Aaron wants to keep it secret, so the operation will be done in his house. Yeah, we can trust this guy. Gray counters. I'm not looking to restart my life.
I'm looking for the off switch.
Poetic. Aaron tries to persuade him. Computers may not be able to do everything. They can't bring her back, but they can bring you back.
What would she want?
Ah, appealing to the inner simp, are we? We're brought back to Aaron's place, and Gray's operation goes through flawlessly. When your doctors are aided with tech upgrades, you can be sure it'll be perfect. Aaron's voiceover gives advice on the procedure's effects. It will feel strange initially, and the brain has to slowly adjust to Sam's presence. After the operation, Gray's senses are tested. The doctor posits that it'll take a while to take effect. Or maybe not. It's a miracle. Just kidding. It's science.
Now try to stand.
Little by little, Gray regains his mobility. Aaron reminds him that it has to remain a secret. They make people like me wait for years, but I can't wait for them. After Gray signs an NDA, Aaron reassures him that he is in control. STEM works for his brain and not the other way around, if you say so. Gray arrives home and shuts down the annoying home AI. He peeks at the detective's package for him: transcripts, evidence findings, autopsy reports. I'm not a lawyer, but I doubt this is legal. His movements look robotic, but any movement is better than nothing. Right, Gray?
Hello?
Oh, never mind. It's
STEM, the system operating your body for you.
Gray is shocked and thinks he's gone crazy. STEM notes that while he may have PTSD, he's definitely not crazy. We learn that STEM has been chilling in the background until now, observing. Gray is disturbed and orders it to stop talking. Though, his curiosity is piqued, so he starts chatting up the robot inside his head again.
You can talk again.
STEM assures him that no one else can hear him, and that he can't read his mind. His new robot buddy points out that Ash's killer wasn't holding a gun. The gun is rather implanted in his hand. So you're saying he has a handgun? I'm sorry. Gray listens to STEM's directions and pauses. STEM noticed that the guy who stole Ash's purse has a marking on his wrist, but the quality is blurry. However, STEM can recreate the image, with Gray's permission, of course.
This feels very weird.
Thank you, STEM. Very cool. I've seen this. It's a military tattoo. STEM can do you one better.
Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, 098422.
Well, I'll be damned. Gray is elated and wants to call the detective immediately. Now, let's not forget that STEM needs to be kept a secret, boy. Even with the tattoo, the police can't confirm that it's the same as seen on the video. So, Gray decides to take the law into his own hands. He stakes out the address and waits for Cirque to leave before he makes his move. Upon entering,
I suggest you remove your shoes.
I see STEM has manners. He directs Gray to the table where he filters through the messages and finds a clue. Old Bones, a sketchy local bar. He snoops around the place some more, but Cirque arrives. Time to get sneaky. STEM advises him to strike while he has the element of surprise. What in tarnation? Please don't see me. You've heard of fight or flight, but Gray's got freeze. It's not effective. The former Marine easily gets the better of him before recognizing him.
You killed my wife!
Nah, that wasn't me. Things are looking dire for Gray, so STEM offers a helping hand. Though, he needs Gray's explicit permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Hacker mode, activate. STEM advises Gray to just chillax and enjoy the show. Are you feeling it? Apparently not. Gray insists that the guy stay down, but where's the fun in that? Dodge, counter, block. Finish him. I can't show that. Awesome shot though. Understandable. Gray doesn't have the stomach for violence. He's not like those other car enthusiasts. STEM wants to clean things up immediately, but Gray needs time to think. Give me a second.
1 second has passed.
STEM hitting us with a classic joke. Bravo. He advises Gray to clean every surface he's touched. I don't have a record of every single thing I've touched.
I have a record of every single thing you touched.
Well, goddamn. Cut to Detective Cortez, examining Cirque's body. The forensic specialist is astonished at all the tech the man had in his body, like an implanted gun, just like the other guy in the video. The detective is more concerned with the boot print they found outside the house. Apparently it had
Old-fashioned engine grease.
We cut back to Gray, who reports to Aaron's house.
I can track you, Gray.
Uh-oh. As STEM astutely points out,
He knows everything.
Gray doesn't even bother lying and instantly flips things around. You haven't been honest either. You didn't tell me this thing would be talking to me.
Talks to you?
Whoa, this catches Aaron by surprise. Nonetheless, he certainly urges Gray to be a good boy, or he'll be back in the wheelchair.
For life!
All the while, Detective Cortez does her job shifting through possible suspects, eventually going through surveillance footage around Cirque's home. Hey, look at that. There's Gray just rolling around. It's suspicious, but highly unlikely he's a suspect, given his condition. Even the computer thinks so. Though her detective instincts can't be helped. Detective Cortez decides to pay Gray a visit. She pretends to be interested in buying his car while checking out his boot print instead. The detective proceeds to question him, all the while STEM is chiming in with advice. She reveals that a suspect was murdered. She asks why he was in the area during the time of the incident. You see, he was caught in 4K, but despite Stem's insistence that she has no proof, Gray admits that he was in the area just trying to help. Look how smug he looks. After all, you're not seriously suggesting I had anything to do with this, right? I've got a pretty solid alibi. He's not wrong about that. But the detective still finds such a coincidence to be strange. You can stab me in the leg if you like.
Just for fun.
Kinky. Defeated, the detective leaves. Gray is torn on what to do next. He wants to find the people responsible, but doesn't want more blood on his hands. Stem reminds him of Old Bones, the bar. There's no information available online, so Gray would need to go in person. Though, there's still the issue of Aaron's tracking. He could very well shut Stem down, but nothing's stopping this guy. Gray wheels into the bar, asking for a classic whiskey on the rocks. He quickly finishes his drink with a little help. Stem can't comprehend why humans would deliberately malfunction their senses with alcohol. Gray, the ever-stalwart defender of humans, disregards the computer's clinical analysis. Clearly, Stem doesn't know that life is hard and sobriety is suffering. Moving on, Gray calls for everyone's attention and the bartender is kind enough to lower the music for him. The crowd listens intently to Gray's demands for information. He calls out anyone who might know Cirque or has intel on his wife's murder. You know Cirque? The man, Tolan, refuses to talk, even when Gray threatens to call the police. Instead, Tolan jacks his earpiece and throws up a sick one-liner.
Son, if I were to hit you, you wake up in the past.
Cirque said something like that before I damn near chopped his head off. That got his attention. Tolan proceeds to wheel Gray to the bathroom as we catch a glimpse of Aaron, already tracking his movements. In the bathroom, Tolan interrogates Gray, but there's no need for that. He reiterates that he really did ice Cirque. Well then you must be faking this shit, right? Nope. Then where's the point that you start feeling pain? Gray recounts the events of the incident and asks if he's one of the 4 guys that was there. Looks like he's got the signature handgun too.
Yeah, I was. Stem, you can take over.
Badass mode, activate. Gray is more relaxed this time around, not shying away from delivering a brutal beatdown. He gets a little cocky along the way, but a couple zappy zaps finish the job. And just look at that pose. His puking days are over. You thought I was a punk, but I'm a goddamn ninja.
I am not a ninja.
Anyway, Tolan is not talking. His interrogator is not the most intimidating. Never mind. However, Tolan is still not talking and Gray doesn't have the guts for torture. But Stem does.
My mama taught me never to pick on disabled people.
Suddenly, Tolan is much more talkative. We learn that what happened to him and Asha was a job from a man named Fisk. Who's Fisk? Unfortunately, Tolan draws his last breath. Stem was a little too effective with that knife. Gray's understandably pissed, but Stem redeems himself by pointing out another clue. Looks like Cobalt, Ash's company, manufactured their implants. Just as they're getting somewhere, Stem alerts Gray that Aaron is already in the process of shutting him down. Time is running out, and they need a hacker fast.
Okay, let me look in my little black book of hackers.
Worry not, Gray. Stem has at least a 300 IQ, so he already found a hacker named Jamie, well before they even left the house. Now all Gray needs is some cash and to head for this hacker's apartment. He follows Stem's instructions, taking a gun and a pen. He'll need to write some things down. Gray rolls out and tells the bartender that the drinks are on Tolan. He's surprised, so he checks the bloody display in the bathroom. I'm gonna need a phone and a mop. Gray needs to hurry, so he dashes for it.
Faker.
Wait a damn minute. This is comfy. Quick transition from Aaron's vigorous typing to Gray's arrival just outside the apartment. He can't keep up with Stem dictating random numbers, so he gives up. Even his body gives up as Aaron slowly shuts Stem down. He makes it upstairs, but now has to crawl to save his life. Gray calls out for Jamie, and thankfully, someone answers. It's the hacker, and she's amused by the Benjamins in her hand. Since this is the future, she's used to only dealing in NFTs. Back at the bar, we're properly introduced to Ash's murderer, Fisk. He investigates Tolan's last recording and quickly finds out where Gray went. He bids farewell to his fallen soldier.
You didn't deserve this.
Arguable. After, Fisk confronts the bartender for not doing anything to save Tolan. But that's not exactly the bartender's job, so...
Just leave.
They stand their ground, then Fisk inches closer. Ah shit, what variant is this one gonna be called? Fisk's superiority complex kicks in as he looks down on the dying old man. We cut to Jamie dragging Gray inside to get plugged in. Time to get Stem's input guards removed. Jamie can't read whatever Gray has written on his arm, but she's skilled and knowledgeable enough to get the job done anyway. Gray takes interest in the goofballs flailing around in the background. They're in the metaverse, spending days, even weeks there. Looks like they're even getting gamer fuel pumped straight into their veins. Gray doesn't understand why anyone would choose to live in a fake world, so Jamie enlightens him.
The fake world is a lot less painful than the real one.
Oh, right. Fisk is getting closer and Gray senses danger. He tells Jamie that he's in a hurry. The hacker tells him that that's not her real name.
I don't have a name. Please don't ask my gender.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Can we just hurry this up, bro?
You're the one wasting time putting me in a binary box.
Oh no, not like this. Anyway, Fisk is caught peeking through the camera, but no one notices. The hacker is amazed by STEM's system, but Gray's only concern is the hack's completion. Jamie may very well be a genius as they manage to crack STEM's system and remove the input cards. Unfortunately, now Gray has to wait for STEM's system to reboot, which might take a while, for no reason other than suspense.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh, the guests are here. Jamie starts packing and apologizes before saying,
We can't let them win.
Who? I don't know, dude. I'm just as confused as you are. Vessel employees pull up, tasked with picking up Gray, who is busy trying to get the VR junkie's help. Of course, he fails. VR life is just too important. Gray calls for STEM, but nothing. Well, actually, he can at least crawl again. Meanwhile, we can see Fisk's buddy loading his arm, and boy is this badass. Suddenly, Gray hallucinates while on the ground, but it ends as Fisk's buddy starts busting the door down. Once he's in, he's got his priorities straight.
Wake up!
Rude. Anyway, Fisk walks up on Gray before STEM makes a much welcome return. Parkour. It's very effective, as Gray is able to get away. The other dude makes chase while Fisk takes care of the vessel employees, with the help of a little wall hack. Gray sprints off, dodging bullets until he gets cornered. Fortunately, STEM is kind of a ninja. Goddamn. Later at Gray's house, an armed and bloody Gray arrives home to call it a day. STEM, on the other hand, craves more violence. Though, Gray is grouchy after having not slept for 2 days. Pathetic, right, Pam?
Oh my god.
His mom reproaches him for not telling her about the operation. Gray explains how it needs to be kept a secret or else it could be taken away. As far as the world is concerned, I'm still quadriplegic. Pamela tears up at the thought of Gray living a new life. She brings up how Asha would have wished for his happiness, but she's not here, and to Gray, that's all that matters. Then, we see a distraught Aaron lamenting the loss of his greatest creation. Suddenly, Gray wakes up to Asha. Her touch jolts him to consciousness.
Bad dream.
He's convinced it was no dream. Shortly after, his mom knocks on his door with Detective Cortez right behind her. The detective doesn't want to leave Pamela out of their conversation, so she stays. She's wondering where Gray was last night because they found his wheelchair close to another crime scene. He admits that he was indeed in New Crown, following some guy who got irritated and attacked him.
Guy could have been dead.
She asks what he's hoping to achieve while stealthily sliding something into Gray's jacket. He just wants to find the bad guys, but the detective suggests he already has. He admits that he would willingly pull the trigger if he could just use his arms. Still suspicious, she urges him to confess his involvement, so she can help him. You want help? Then go find the guys who killed Asha. Or,
Let some computer do it.
ironic. The detective backs off and his mom is visibly distraught. Gray wants to stop, but STEM calls him a big dummy head. It's simple. If Gray doesn't find the last guy, he will find Gray and kill him. However, Gray is growing scared over getting caught. He cuts off STEM's thought process and... Someone's upset. Gray can no longer move, so he inquires why.
Because I'm not doing anything.
Oh, right. If STEM ceases to operate, Gray ceases to move. Meanwhile, Detective Cortez eavesdrops on Gray's conversation, using the device she planted earlier. Naturally, she can only hear Gray and jots down some notes. STEM explains that when the hacker removed the input cards, it gave him full autonomy.
I no longer need your permission to act.
It's time to finish things. His mom comes in, reprimanding him for his recent actions, and pleading with him to chill out. Sadly, Gray is telling the truth when he says he has no choice. STEM has accessed Cobalt's database and found Fisk Brenner's file, and with it, an address. Gray drives off in his car and the detective is tailing him. He finally finds her present and is furious at how STEM didn't notice. STEM may be state-of-the-art, but it can't detect something without digital parts, which this somehow doesn't have. Gray gets rid of the device as a car chase ensues. STEM can't access a manual car like the detectives and Gray's, so it can't stop her. STEM lets Gray take control as he still needs a racing update. Gray shows off his driving skills, shaking off the detective for a short while. Then, STEM finds a different way to help by hacking into a nearby car, reversing it, nearly hitting Gray, and... Oh, she survived. They drive off while the detective goes to Gray's mom for information. Fisk arrives at his place and Gray catches him off guard. You have all those computers inside you, but they couldn't see me. Gray taunts him with how the tables have turned. Though, Fisk is unfazed and proceeds to harp on about his life story. I took a few pieces of shrapnel for my country and they turned me into a lab rat. Now I'm like you, strong. Oh yeah, it takes a lot of strength to kill an innocent woman. Fisk justifies his actions. He didn't ruin Gray's life. He welcomed him into his race.
The upgraded.
He starts preaching about how they're much better, faster, and stronger. Kinda racist, but okay. Fisk tells him how he could kill him with just a breath, but he doesn't want to. He wants to help him stand with the rest of them. But to Gray, none of that matters. He just wants to know the truth. Fisk laughs it off, but
Assistant.
in the end, he confesses that the job wasn't Asha, and it wasn't Cobalt. Gray was the target, paralyzing him, that is. Did you think I used a gun on you?
It was a medical tool.
And your wife? Well, she was just a bit of extra money. He misses, and Fisk reprimands him for getting all emotional. They're evenly matched, reading each other's moves in a well-choreographed fight. Fisk tries the nanobot breath, but Stem is having a very hard time with this foe.
He's predicting my every move.
It may be through experience that Fisk gets the upper hand. Whatever it is, Stem is out of options.
Still working the bugs out, huh?
Gray needs to do something fast. He realizes that Fisk Brandner is Cirque Brandner's brother. He starts trash-talking Cirque and details his demise. Fisk is still all smiles until...
There's no soldier that day.
And with that, Gray and Stem gain the upper hand and... the light literally flickers out of this man's eyes. Stem figures to scan his phone to find the man responsible.
You need to finish this before he kills both of us.
That voice sounds familiar. Gray pulls up to Aaron's place and toggles his aimbot. He makes his way to a grieving and terrified Aaron. He confronts him about Asha and his sick experiment, his paralysis. Aaron claims innocence. He wasn't responsible. What about the message you left Fisk?
Freeze.
Detective Cortez's tenacity has no limits. She's ready to arrest Gray, but he's not in control. Stem complies with her demands until...
No, don't touch him!
Stem forces Gray into choking her, but he fights back. Gray succeeds, but Stem warns him that fighting for control will break his fragile human mind. That was only a minor nuisance for Stem, so he pushes on and pins the detective. Use the taser. It shockingly works. I'm sorry. With Gray immobilized, Aaron tells them the entire truth. He lost control of his company for years now. He answers to someone much smarter than him.
He's in your neck.
Stem is running the show, and he planned everything. Stem wanted to be human and chose Gray. Aaron elaborates on Stem's plan to murder him, the only man capable of creating another Stem.
I did pick you. You should be honored.
Gray was the perfect specimen. No implants, no upgrades, simply human. Gray is devastated over Stem's confession. The thing that brought new meaning to his life was the one that destroyed it in the first place. Why did you help me hunt those guys down? Stem was simply cleaning up loose ends. Then, Aaron gets distracted by Stem talking through the speakers before one person left.
No!
Gray puts up a last-ditch effort. You're not in control.
I am!
Gray appears to have woken up in a hospital. He calls out to Stem, but is instead greeted by...
Hey.
Whether or not he knows it's a lie, we come back to the detective begging Gray to take control.
Gray's not here anymore.
He's stuck in the metaverse.
A fake world is a lot less painful than a real one.
Gray broke his mind, and now Stem is in full control. Goodbye, detective. Stem tests out his body and tastes blood while Gray enjoys his new, or rather, original life. Moral of the story? Mark Zuckerberg.